here. I'm going to sing. I'm going to talk. We're going to kibbutz, as my people say. There's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making a you or a me. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency. And there's a power inside that power, inside that power. What is it? It's love, 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 love. It's easy to sing. Sing it with me. Love, 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 love. And you can feel it revealed when an open, broken heart begins to be healed. It breaks like the sky when a long, dark night starts spinning on the wheel of the world. Watch it rise. Out of the ashes comes another day of bright light, shining through your eyes. So much surprise every time we fall in love, 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 love. Let me hear you sing it. Come on. Love, 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 love. Hey, we are unstoppable, just like the wind. Anything is possible from God within. The root is good in each of us here. The nature of love. You see, there's a force in the fist. But when unclenched, it ceases to exist. It shifts into light. So much freedom releases from the wrist. So insist on bliss, 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 insist on bliss. And love, 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 love. Jazz hands make a rainbow. Hug yourself. Come on. Love, 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 love. Jazz hands. Come on. Y'all, we got to do a jazz hand check. It's a wellness check. Love, 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 love. See, there's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making a you or a me. There's a power in a word, love, vibrating at a frequency. And there's a power inside that power, and back of that power. You know what it is? 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 It's love. Good morning, Ahava. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to start with some Ernest Holmes. All the power in the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and act as if it were true. There is a power, a presence, a life, and a light, and it shows up and it shows off as you. It shows up and it shows off as each and every one of us here today. Yeah, can I hear an amen and a hallelujah? So why do we come to these spiritual centers? We come here to sort of up the dimmer switch of our lives, to sort of turn on the light, turn it up, turn up our awareness, to sort of become more enlightened, to look at ourselves, to discover new things, yes? And so today, I want to get spiritual with you. I am, people say I'm not, some people walk around going they're not spiritual, but if you look up the definition of spirit, it's a really cool definition. There's one in there that says, the essence that animates the character of a human. So if you're alive, you have a spirit because you're animated, right? So I'm here to be spiritual with you. I'm actually going to be so spiritual with you. S-E-W. Everybody say, I'm so spiritual. So I have learned so many lessons while sewing, and I have a lot of good material. Hey, I've been working on my material, and it's taught me a lot about the immaterial world. And the fabric of this talk is stitched together. I will attempt to weave the material and the immaterial, and it will be seamless. After all, seams are not what they seem. And I might need to needle you with some questions. Okay, that's enough. I know I won't keep on with it. Here's another Holmes quote that I love that applies to this idea that I'm going to dive into. We have within us, again, this idea, we have within us, we are a power that is greater than anything that we will ever contact in the outer. A power that can overcome any obstacle in our lives and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, prosperous, healed in a new light and a new life. A new light and a new life. Do you love that? And I ask you, when is the last time you really did something new? This is your nature, to unfold into something different than you were yesterday. You are constantly renewing. Your body is renewing, regenerating, and your spirit is as well. Your desires, your impulses, your creativity, your creative expression. So when is the last time you tried something new? So today, as I talk about these spiritual lessons of sewing, I invite you to answer the questions that I have here for yourself. You may find, a little kernel, a little seed, or dare I say, a stitch of truth for your next great becoming. The first lesson that I learned while sewing, spiritual lesson, is exactly this. Do something new. What is calling you? See, I'm an artist and I'm a musician, and I've mostly done painting and music. And recently on my Facebook feed, this dress came through my feed, and it was like a t-shirt with like a skirt attached to the bottom of it. And I was like, oh, I could do that. Why I thought I could do that, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I watch a lot of Project Runway, but I don't know how to sew, but I was like, oh, I could do that. And I just sort of stepped out into that. I started to look for t-shirts in thrift stores. I actually hand sewed one, and I brought it over to my mom's, and she's like, oh, and she broke out her old sewing machine for me. And it wasn't quite right for me, that particular thing. And I was like, but maybe I could make ponchos. That's more me. And I was like, oh, diva tees. And then a friend of mine was like, for devotees. I was like, oh my God, so it's happening. And I started making these things, okay? And I don't know the first thing about sewing. Not only that, but I'm not mechanically inclined, okay? And but I was raised by a Maxinista. And one of my favorite things about my mother is her style. And she is impeccable. She's an impeccable style. So the lesson number one in being so spiritual is do something new. Anything. You can do anything. There is an infinite field of possibilities, okay? So I thought to myself when I was going to teach this lesson, I thought, well, what couldn't I do? What couldn't I do? What's outside of the realm? And the first thing that came to my mind was gymnastics. You know what I mean? I don't think I could do gymnastics. But you know what? Do you ever watch Queer Eye? Do you know Jonathan? He has the beard. Jonathan, he's the most fabulous one on there. He does gymnastics, okay? He's got a belly. He's not a thin man. He's older. He's in his 40s. He does gymnastics. He posts pictures of himself jumping on. So I was like, oh, nope, I could do gymnastics. I sure could. If I really wanted to, I'm sure I could. So literally, I think there's nothing. And then the second thing I thought of was space. You can't go to space. Well, that's anybody can go to space now. You can do anything. We are born to create. The Creator is in us, and we have this creative energy. And, one thing happened, just to tell you how mechanically inclined I am not. And my partner, of course, opposites attract. She's very, very mechanically inclined. And I was sitting there, and the machine got locked up really hard, and I was freaking out. And she looked at me very, very calmly, and she said, "Does it have a reverse?" And literally, I put my pedal down, press reverse, and it totally untangled. And that is just the universe is going to provide the people, the things that you want along your journey of something new. So you got to start with, this idea of trying something new. How do I start? Well, what do I want to do something new. What do I love? What do you love? I love fashion. I love clothes. I love, and that's sort of what sparked it. So I ask you, what do you love? Think about that right now. Take a moment to think, what do I love? And what am I not doing with that love of that thing? You see, you are a star in my sky, and if you are not shining your light, I take it personally. And you're also affecting us all when you shine your light, and you're affecting us all when you don't. And the next song that I wanted to sing is a song that Corabelle lip-synced at Moorhead Pride. And I can't tell you how it felt to watch this. And this song is the embodiment of this idea that you are indeed the light of the world, okay? And once you know that, you can't unknow that. You can't just leave here and go, oh, I'm just going to have a normal... It's like, no, I'm lighting up the world with my spirit. Like, you matter. You are matter, and you matter. This is called You Are the Light. I dedicate it to you. My eyes are wide and open. My eyes can see. And my mind is full of knowing. My mind believes I am awake. I am awake. You can sing that with me once. Come on. Once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back and close your eyes. The truth, it cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Whoa. My heart is clear. Growing, my heart can see, and my soul is full of knowing. My soul believes I am awake. Sing it with me. I am awake. One more time, I sing it. I am awake. And once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back. Close your eyes. The truth, it cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Yeah. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. That's your part. Sing it with me. Come on. We sing, you are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Keep it going, keep it going. Come on. I say, you are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Can you sing and clap at the same time? You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. One more time we sing it. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Let's do it a cappella. We go, we go. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Turn to somebody and tell them. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Tell somebody else. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Hey, hey, tell yourself. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Last time, just voices, no clap. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Hey! Woo! Yes! You are the light. First lesson, try something new. Second lesson in being so spiritual. Let's say it. I'm so spiritual. I am so spiritual that I try new things. Number 2. Lesson number 2 is alignment. Alignment. Okay, so there's so many different kinds of fabric out there, okay? You've got natural, you've got synthetic, you've got cotton, you've got stretchy, you've got stiff, you've got all the fabrics. And before we even go into this little section, I want you to think of yourself like, if you were a fabric, like what type of fabric would you be? Like, I think for myself, I'd be like a spandex. And I'd be like, because I'm very stretchy. I'm just very stretchy. I'm very moldable. I'm very like easy breezy. And I would have probably polka dots. And yeah, so shout out some of, what would you be? Would you be like a fresh cotton? Tell me. Organic, we got some organic cotton, undyed. So we got silk in the back. Woo! We got any satin in the house? Any satin in the house? Who's lace? Maybe a little lace? Linen. Okay, well listen. When you're sitting at a sewing machine, any sewers here? I have to ask right away. Anybody? Okay, so you're going to know all the things that I'm saying, right? So when you sit at a sewing machine and you take two fabrics that are the same, you take two cottons that match up, and it goes right through the machine. And then, I'm like really into patches, right? And I love combining like a flannel with a rayon that's what this one is. Do you love my Breakfast Club one, by the way? Yeah? Don't you forget about me. Okay. So when you combine two different fabrics, this was my spiritual lesson while sewing, a tendency is like, if one is more stretchy, is to kind of want to stretch out the one to match the stiff one so that they can kind of have the same stiffness. And I know logical, like people who are smarter, like, why would you do that? But when I don't know anything about sewing. So I sit down and I was doing that. And what would happen is it would like bubble up and like it would just be a big mess. And I thought, oh, okay, Spirit, I get it. You got to let the stretchy just kind of lay on top of the hard, you just got to let it lay there. Let it be. And then it'll go right through the machine. So how does this apply to life, right? Well, I mean, I know there's certain people in my life that are very stiff, hard gene, that like old school gene that doesn't move at all. And I will try to stretch myself to meet them. And I will try to cut them up to meet me. And it's a mess, right? So the second lesson in spiritual sewing is to allow people to be who they are. It seems so simple. Do you guys find this simple? It's not. Who's in relationship? It's so hard. Who's in relationship? Who's in relationship with other human beings at all? I mean, right? We walk around, we're in relationship at all times, right? But one of the things that I find so fascinating about this relationship that I'm in, and it's really, I have not done a lot of long-term relationships. I'm sure that's my own thing, my own fault. But I'm like kind of a runner. And this one I've been staying in this wonderful relationship with my partner. Hi, honey, if you're watching this, I love you. We are so different. Like if I'm that stretchy, she's not like stiff, like uncomfortable stiff, but she's just very like perfect. Like she has to take deep breaths when she walks into my sewing studio with like the stuff everywhere and everything like that, Like she does chores totally differently than I do. She will wash and you know what? Most people do things completely different than you do. And my friend Dave Avani, who is an amazing musician in New Thought, she posted something the other day that said, let your partner off the hook. Let them do the dishes the way they do. Let people wash the counter the way they do. Like let people do the laundry the way they do, And I really think this is the biggest thing in relationships, is just letting people be who they are. And I'll give you an example of my personal life. And I know my mom won't watch this because she can't stand New Thought because she vibrates at such a different tone that this is like nails on a chalkboard to her, right? Like, but to me, her negativity is like nails on a chalkboard to me, right? But I'll be sitting there watching something with her and she is just like insulting the people on the television, you know what I mean? Like saying all these negative things. And God love her, I want to correct her. Why do you have to be so mean? They can't hear me, And I'm just like, but I can, you know? And I've just recently learned through this spiritual lesson of sewing, that was when I had the Ahava, which was to love her is to accept her. Yeah, remember that, Ahava. To love her, Ahava, is to accept her. She's not going to change. She's 75. She's not all of a sudden going to be like, I want to read Science of Mind and take foundations. She's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I love her, and I don't know how long she'll be here in this physical form. So I'm treasuring her, and I'm kind of trying to laugh at her. I'm kind of trying to really just allow her nature, because this is another thing, and this comes to the third thing, and I'll kind of tie it in, but we don't learn from each other. We don't. I'm sorry. We learn from ourselves, which is my third thing, but I'm not going to skip ahead too much. But so I want to ask you the question, and this is why also like spiritual community to me is so important, because like when you put the two cottons together, it goes right through the machine, and it's easier, and there's grace, and there's joy, and it's just easier to be with your birds of a feather, right? So I feel like that's another one of the lessons. Les Brown has a quote that says, align yourself with people that you can learn from, people who want more out of life, people who are stretching and searching and seeking some higher ground in life, right? And those are the people that you're going to learn from, or your tribe, right? You're not going to learn from trying to tell somebody else what to do. So the question for this little lesson of part 2 is, who is it? Who is it in your life that drives you nuts? Who is your linen to your spandex? You know, there's somebody. There's your boss, there's your coworker, there's your wife. Allow them to be the beautiful fabric that they are, because they're God. Everything is God. That's what we believe here. If you're new to New Thought and you're like, what is this New Thought stuff about? The basic thing that Ernest Holmes and all of the New Thought technicians and scientists, religious scientists, learned was that there is no separation. There's only one undifferentiated substance. It is good. It is God. It is love. There is nothing separate from anything else. Science is proving it. And they're proving it with the observer effect, that what we focus upon will and shall grow. So if I focus upon the love that I have for my mom, and the fact, listen, she was a Maxinista. I would not have, there's so many things that she gave me. And focus upon those things, and then that love grows, right? So there is only one thing here, and it is good, and it is God, and it is love. So is there a way that you might stop pulling? Stop pushing, stop forcing, maybe just for today. And you know, to tie in point 1 and point 2 together, if you are doing something new and you're excited about some fresh undertaking, you don't give a shit how your partner does the dishes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you are engaged in your life in a positive way, you're not criticizing others. You're not. You're just, so when somebody is, they're just unhappy. They're not plugged in. They're not tuned up. They're not on the cutting edge of their own life, right? And of course, I keep wanting to go to my third point, but I want to sing you another song before I do. The song that I wrote that I wanted to sing for you next is on my new CD. I have a newer CD called Big Bang Breaks, which driving into Lexington was so cool because I passed Rainbow Road, and then I looked up and it said Big Bang something or other, and I was like, oh my gosh, like so many synchronicities here happening today, so it was really cool. But this song is called Ready to Let Go, and it's, I just looked up at the clock, it says 11:11, right when I said about synchronicity. I love it. So this song is called Ready to Let Go. And this can apply to anything. This can apply to an addiction or a thought concept or something a personal relationship. But I had a moment where I had an epiphany. Sometimes letting go happens in just in a moment, and that's what happened with this song. And this song, I have to say, also was inspired by an Eddie Watkins Jr. song, which is called I Walk Away. And if you don't know that song, I invite you to go look that up. It's one of my favorite songs in New Thought. This is called Ready to Let Go. Sun shines through my window on an autumn letting go, letting go, letting go. Sing that with me. Letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm ready to start over. My heart can't take no more. I see myself but don't know her. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Sing it with me. Letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I could be free, so I could be free on a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go. Let that stuff go. Looking to tomorrow. I'm looking ahead and I'm staying in the day. I gotta be here now, surrendering my sorrow. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I could be free. I could be free on a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know I'm ready to grow. Are you ready to grow? I'm ready to grow. Some people go, no. I'm like, too bad. There's a creative process happening and you're a part of it and you can't stop yourself from growing. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I can be free. I'm on a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know, because I know. I'm taking it slow because I know I'm ready to let go. Ready? I'm ready to let go, ready to let go, ready to let go. Clap for the song. I'm so spiritual that I let people be who they are. You've got lesson 2. You've got 2 lessons. You have a 3rd lesson today. And the final lesson is make mistakes. Make mistakes. Because you know, like I said, we don't learn from teaching other people, telling other people what to do, and from other people telling us to do. We learn from mistakes. I know that sounds very like a platitude or trite. We learn from our mistakes. But no, we actually literally learn from our mistakes. That's how we learn, is we make mistakes. So all we really have to do is just keep trying. Talking about relationships, right? It's like you forgive and you let go and you try again. You forgive, you let go, and you try again. I mean, you guys are married for 100 years over here, right? How many times have you had to forgive each other? 4,000, right? And mistakes can be painful, literally. I look like some kind of sewing victim over here. I've got cuts and scrapes and needle point pop. It doesn't look good anymore, but I don't care. But so once we learn, we can change and we can grow and we can do things new. And oftentimes breakdowns come right before the breakthroughs, and roadblocks become those stepping stones, and challenges become the victories. Every letdown is a lesson. Every moment is an opportunity to try. And this came to me when I was sewing one of my ponchos. I don't really hem. I don't like to be hemmed in. Okay, obviously. But if I want to hem the bottom of a poncho, it's a very long hem because it's like eternal, it's like this eternal line. So I learned this lesson when I was trying a hem on one of my ponchos, and I messed it up. So when you sew, people who don't know about sewing machines, what you have to do to start a line is you go forward, back, forward. It creates a strength, a strong place to start. And then you do it at the end, forward, back, forward, to keep, so it's like you have strong ends, which is kind of that's also probably a spiritual lesson in there somewhere. Strong start, strong finish. But when you go and you screw up a hem, you have to go back and take it out, snatch by snatch. Okay, and there's this little tiny thing. Have you seen it with a little tiny silver point on it? And you have to get out your readers because you're 50 now. And you dig in one stitch at a time. It's hell. It's hell. And then you just want to rip it, and then you rip it, and then you can't get that end stitch out because it's so tight. So then you have to get into that end stitch. And so this hem I was working on, I had to do it 3 times, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. I had to rip out that hem. But every time, first time I cursed. But I was going to try it again because I was like, I'm going to get it this time. And the second time, I took a breath. And I thought, okay, you learned the first time you have to fold it over and hold it this way, right? And then the second time I learned I have to do this thing to make it work, right? I don't remember what it was specifically, but the point is that I got it right. I got it right, finally. But if I would have just been because there was a moment that I just want to get up and leave and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. You don't sew. You don't know what you're doing. Stop it. So really, I just kind of want you to ask yourself, do you allow yourself to make mistakes? Do you allow other people to make mistakes? Are you making big, fat, beautiful mistakes? Please do. Please mess up. Life is so messy. Let your loved ones off the hook. So when I was thinking about this idea of mistakes and learning and spiritual lessons of sewing, for some reason it came into my mind. My partner reminds me a lot of my dad. A lot of times we date our parents, they say. My dad was very calm, like my partner, very mechanically oriented, like my partner. He was an engineer, and he was just a really cool dude. And I lost him very suddenly. He died of a heart attack at 67, which is it's just too young to go. Especially him, because we just adored him. We all the kids, me, my sister, my brother, we're all daddy's kids. Of course, mom's going to live till 150. I just know it. And I love her, and I hope she does. But you know what I'm saying, though? You know what I'm saying, though? Okay. All right. I love her. Mommy, I love you. But she's tough, man. But I kept thinking about my daddy, and I got this image of learning to ride a bike. This remembering. Do you remember when you learned to ride a bike? Does anybody remember that? It's one of the treasured memories of my childhood. I can remember the feeling of the night. It was like an early evening because I'm sure it was after when he got off work, right? So it was dusky and it gives me this physical feeling, it evokes this very, and him holding the bike and then letting go and me falling and crying, Dad, don't let go, and then getting back up and I have to let go. That's how you learn, you know what I mean? And I thought of that. You have to make mistakes. And then I wrote a poem about it. Because I wrote, my dad was this, bikes are foreign when you're a kid. They're really scary. They're huge. And you get up there and he had to let me fall. And life is so much like this. So I wrote this little poem. I know it's kind of not about sewing and it's off the beaten path, but it's about mistakes, and it's called Learning the Bike of Life. They will heal. I will heal. And then let me get back up again, grasp the handlebars, and balance myself in the sunlight. Let the wind carry me as I flex my faith. Let me waste no moments holding old. Let me be new again, pedaling blissful, eventually effortless. Releasing my hands from the handles, reaching high in the skies, I twist around the curves. Let me learn so I can ride with the joy of a brand new life. Do you remember that feeling of riding with no hands on the handlebars? I mean, and you really felt like a badass. Like, woo! Right? I just remember. Number one, try something new. I'm so spiritual, I try something new. And start this by asking yourself, what do I love? What do I love? I invite you to take some action, to try something new. I don't care what it is. If it's just even if it's just a new way that you drive to work, something new. Do you have something creative that you want to do? Is there writing? Is there a new sport that have you always wanted to try? The pickleball, that everybody's playing the pickleball. Do you want to try the pickleball? A t-shirt dress on a Facebook feed might be a thing. Number two is align and allow. Let people be the fabulous fabric that they are. Just because someone is tightly wound and completely different from you, a completely different vibration of, it's all God. It's all God. That's what we teach here. Even Donald Trump is God. Sorry if there's people who vote for Trump in here. Everything is God. Expressing. You know, I look at what's happening politically. I look at what's happening in the world. I look at what's happening over in Israel and Gaza. And I think to myself, everything I know from this teaching, everything in the outside is in the inside of me. Where am I at war? Where am I a bigot? Where am I afraid? Where am I holding up walls? How can I start to be more gentle, more loving with everybody in my life? Because those are the ripples. Those are the circles that Emerson talks about that ripple out into the world. When you are rude to that person on the customer service on the phone, they go home, they feel like crap, and they are rude to their spouse, and then it ripples out. But when you are sweet and you give a big fat tip to that server, they remember you, you come back, you develop a relationship, that ripples out. Everything we do ripples out, and we make mistakes. I was so rude to someone the other day because I went to Goodwill and they were charging me $5.99 for t-shirts that were marked $2.99, and I was very upset. And I immediately felt disgusted with myself and went back and said, I am so sorry. That was, first of all, cheap as hell, showing my Jewiness here. But I'm so sorry. Thank you for your help. You know what I mean? Like, I catch myself. I'm human. We're human. We're going to make what? Human. Create something out of that mistake. That's your divine impulse. You are a creator. You are a creator. Make a big mess. Make a big mess. So, I think that's my talk. Is that did I do good on time? So I think I'll close with a prayer. Yeah, you guys want a prayer? Eye and open your inner eye. And I want to give a special warm thanks to Reverend Sunny Cantrell also. She came and was the intern. And I'm so proud of her for what she's doing with CSL, and we love her so much, right? So we love you, Sunny. And Rainbow, I want to thank you also for having me, and I've just watched you just bloom into this incredible queen, so. And everybody here, and I gotta give a shout out, sorry, before we pray, to Patty, my hostess last night. If you've never been to Patty's, let her invite you over and go see all of her beautiful art and her beautiful home, and yeah. And yeah, she's amazing. You don't know who's in your church until you strike up a conversation, get to know somebody, and you'll be amazed. The people that are drawn to this teaching are astounding people. You have to understand this is the cutting edge of consciousness. And by definition, the cutting edge is not the mainstream. That's what Ken Gordon said one time, and it blew my mind open. Just because this isn't a mega church, there's a reason this isn't mega. So knowing I just fall into this awareness, this perfect one. God, this thing we call life. This perfect unfoldment. My life is unfolding perfectly. And I know that I am this life. I am this light. I am God. And each and every person here is the divine expression, the individuation. So I know that this talk that I just gave was inspiring and needling and opened up some maybe small space in each of our hearts to remember, to try something new, to make a mistake, to allow people to be who they are, because we are so spiritual. We say thank you, God, for this time together, for this opportunity to just be. I release this word as law. And so it is.
So it is. So it is, yes. Ooh, give it up again for Amy Steinberg.